fire 5, pitch and roll. In for loop and pull.
This was a jam-packed week, and it all started off with getting a message from my flight instructor. Now, even though this was only my second real flight training lesson, I was basically handed all of the controls. Both Craig and I were surprised to see how fast I was catching on. After an hour flight with 3 full stops, one of them being at a different airport, I finally got to shutting down the airplane. I can't wait for my next flight instruction, but it's going to be a little bit because of my travels with Mike. I decided I hadn't had enough flying that day, so once I got home, I took out the RC glider. I'd say the single greatest tool that has allowed me to progress quickly with my flight training is how much RC flying I have done in the past year. It really allows you to understand the fundamentals of flight and see how close you can get to a stall speed, and then if you happen to screw up something, you can just glue it back together. After retrieving the airplane from the roof, I decided to make a quick flowchart to maximize my time spent at home. The basic idea for this is to have anybody who is bored to go through this flowchart and then end up with something they can do. I'm still working on it, but here's where I'm at. Next, it was off to Portland for the Oregon International Air Show. I got to work as soon as I touched down, with Mike already setting up a chase plane for a photo shoot.
Now to close that, Stephen, is you pull this bar here. You just pull the bar and do it kind of brisk. The guy who's sitting here can actually turn around and shoot out that too if we want to.
Who's the guy that's going to be sitting there?
From the Oregona or something.
Oregonian.
Yeah. We'll be on the same frequency. You've got 2 radios, and we'll have one radio that's on. Just hit your, have it on so you can hear us talk all the time, and then you'll be talking to approach control.
Right.
But we'll go over what we're going to do a little bit.
We'll fly outbound east, turn around and come back, essentially over Powell Boulevard. You'll be on the north side, I'll be on the south side. We'll get some good shots out the right side of downtown Portland.
This was a beautiful photo shoot, flying over the city and the mountains, and everything in that area just looked absolutely gorgeous. And I did capture a little bit of video, but since I did not have a stabilizer such as my gimbal, it didn't really turn out as well as I was hoping. After that, it was time to prepare for the night show, which was by far the most beautiful air show I have ever attended.
I am stand by, making sure the jet setup's good to go.
That night was definitely one to remember, but there were still 2 days left of the air show. Both of them were cloudy and not quite as beautiful as that first evening.
Look it straight ahead.
Oh my god! I needed that on film. Did you get it?
No, I was trying to get it in my shot.
Yeah.
Oh, way to go.
We gotta get that. That was wicked.
After that exciting event, I took an Uber to the airport, where then I flew to Chicago and linked up with my mom and drove down to the University of Illinois to attend a film symposium. Now, this was unlike any other symposium I have ever attended. The keynote speaker was astronaut and filmmaker Terry Virts, and just take a listen to what he had to say.
I took over 300,000 pictures, in part because I was filming this movie. But NASA gave me 1 hour of training. They blocked aside an hour for me to get familiar with the photography equipment. And we used the still camera, a Canon 1D, to shoot almost all the Earth shots. But the interior shots were with a Canon C500 with a Hollywood video camera. And that was pretty complicated. And so I had, in this 200-day mission, they gave me an hour for that and then nothing else ever. There was not, I don't know if I'd call it resistance, but it was not the top priority of the space agency to film this movie, to say the least. So basically the entire movie that you'll see this afternoon was filmed in our spare time.
I was geeking out so hard when he started mentioning all the different cameras that they used on the International Space Station, and it was just fascinating to find out that these are just normal cameras that we have down here. And he went into detail on the GoPros that they used for the spacewalks. They had to create a custom little box for it to sit in so that it would keep it warm enough and have enough pressure to work. After the symposium, we got to watch the movie he filmed in space on a giant IMAX screen, and after that, there was a Q&A with several people involved in the movie, and after that, I got to meet Commander Terry Virts, and I talked to him for a couple of minutes about filmmaking, aviation, and space. I think my life is now complete, and that also completed the end of this week. I'm leaving tomorrow for San Francisco, which is shaping up to be one of the best air shows this season.
Take it over the top.